Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about why we should emphasize leg work. I think it's quite well established that leg muscles are the ones that undergo the highest rate of atrophy during the aging process. This is well demonstrated in previous studies such as this one recently published in the Journal of Applied Physiology, looking at the rate that hamstrings, quadriceps, and triceps surae atrophy from the age of 25 to the age of 75. So the average muscle loss varies from approximately 16.5% for hamstrings, 28% for the quadriceps, and approximately 13.5% for the calf muscles. It's clear that the quads are the ones that display the highest rate of mass loss with aging. This can be visualized in this study that did a CT scan of the thigh and compared the quads from a young 33-year-old man to an older 77-year-old man. So the classical analysis is that less muscle means less leg strength, weaker bones, loss of balance, and frailty. So, however, I want to draw the attention to the fact that leg muscles are also critical for proper glycemic control. And I know this is not often spoken about, although very important for overall health. To illustrate this, let's look at a study that was published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation back in 1985. The researchers used the euglycemic insulin clamp technique, which allowed them to raise and maintain plasma insulin at approximately 100 microunits per ml, while at the same time maintaining blood glucose levels constant. So they also inserted a catheter into the femoral artery to measure how much glucose was utilized by leg muscles. So a very well done study. So the experiment involved two groups, a control non-diabetic and a diabetic group. So the first important finding was a strong positive correlation between leg glucose uptake and total body glucose uptake. Actually, it gave a coefficient of correlation R of 0.7 with a p-value which is smaller than 0.001, so very significant, the correlation between leg glucose uptake and total body glucose utilization. So this was true for both the non-diabetic control, which is demonstrated here in red dots, and diabetic, which is demonstrated by the black dots. So, however, it's noticeable that in non-diabetics, the total and leg rates of glucose utilization were much higher in controls than in diabetics. Despite the difference in the capacity to take up glucose between the groups, it was estimated that approximately 87 to 90% of the glucose infused was disposed primarily in leg muscles. So this is clearly demonstrated. In this next graph, comparing insulin-stimulated leg glucose uptake in control and diabetic subjects over time. So, in fact, insulin-stimulated leg glucose uptake was 45% lower in diabetics than in controls. This accounts for the entire difference in whole body glucose uptake between diabetics and non-diabetics. If you compare both, that is the difference that exists between the two groups. Thus, if leg muscles shrink and lose the capacity to process glucose in response to insulin, blood glucose levels will likely rise and greatly increase the chances of developing type 2 diabetes. So what's the important practical conclusion we take from these studies? So first, to be healthy and live a long life, we have to maintain leg muscle mass as we age, and also make sure that the leg muscles are fully responsive to insulin. I think the question that arises then is, how do we achieve this? So the best way to achieve both is through resistance and endurance training. Resistance training stimulates muscle hypertrophy, whereas endurance training enhances the ability of muscles to uptake and utilize glucose. So make sure that you do not skip leg day, and make sure that your training program emphasizes the large muscle groups that we have in our legs. So see you in the next, and bye for now.